Political leaders from both parties say this shooting is the latest example of the ongoing gun violence problem in the city. Fox 5's Mike Sachs is here now with more on what they are saying tonight. Mike.
Yeah, Dan, so both mayoral contenders, of course, want the shooting to stop. And Eric Adams and Curtis Sliwa were both in Corona, Queens today, laying out their plans to combat gangs and illegal guns should the city's uptake in violent crime continue into next year, when one of them will be mayor.
We are losing the grip on public safety, and we have to respond immediately and treat this like the crisis that it is.
Brooklyn Borough President and Democratic mayoral candidate Eric Adams in North Corona, Queens, condemning the suspected gang-related mass shooting on 37th Avenue that left 10 injured there Saturday night. Adams' comments coming just as another suspected gang member was arraigned for shooting an NYPD officer struggling to disarm him in the Bronx just after midnight Saturday.
Where the person who did the shooting had over 20 arrests out on bail for a gun-related issue and was able to walk the streets, a total disregard of public safety.
In response, Adams called for beefing up the NYPD's presence on the streets and establishing a joint task force with the federal government to take on the gangs and illegal guns driving the city's surge in shootings. Republican mayoral candidate and Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa at the scene of the mass shooting said he'd hire 3,000 more police officers, bring back more aggressive stop and frisk, and work to roll back the state's bail reform law.
If you are going to be an enemy of society, we're going to lock you up. There's going to be absolutely no way that you get remanded into the streets, and there'll be a bail posted upon your head.
Sliwa, meanwhile, directed his political attacks at the Democrat now in office, swiping Mayor Bill de Blasio for playing volleyball on Friday rather than show up in communities like North Corona.
He's missing in action on this. And you have to say, where are all the other elected officials, some who represent this area, who are part of the defund the police movement?
Well, they too were in Corona, with public advocate JUMAANE Williams reiterating their call for community-centered violence prevention.
So we're not saying we don't understand the need for policing, the need for law enforcement. We're just saying we have to do the things that actually will help us get rid of the gun violence.
Now, the public advocate also urged New Yorkers to put the current violent crime rate in perspective, noting that it's around the same as it was a decade ago, which was already near historic lows. And he went on to say that policing reforms like the end of aggressive stop and frisk help lower the rate even further by 2019 and could even push down the COVID-era spike we're seeing now as well, if given a chance. Dan?
Mike, thank you very much.